You see Tyrell bothered by the nose. It may be broken, and he may be having trouble breathing through it.
You can see him trying to clear it after every clinch.
And when you're having trouble breathing, obviously that plays into your stamina. And Tyrell's stamina, not as hard really, because he's fought back under adversity. Broken collarbones, 32 stitch cuts. But in terms of stamina, it has been a question mark at top competition.
This fight scheduled for 10. We're finishing the second. The bell sounds for the beginning of the third round. Biggs and Bowe meet towards the middle of the ring. Now Bowe forces Tyrell Biggs over towards the ropes. What a good solid shot that was.
That's right. Riddick started to clown a little bit, make some faces at Tyrell, and he wiped the smile off his face with a real stiff jab. The other factor we should bring up, Dan, is Tyrell's tendency to cut. Terrible cut against David Bowe, as we said, 32 stitches. Reopened the left eye against Tyson. Right eye busted up and caused a stoppage against Francesco Damiani. So that both eyes have a tendency to cut and cut badly.
And Tyrell Biggs is not doing a very effective job of keeping his gloves up and blocking the shots of Riddick Bowe. He's taken repeated hits to the head.
And he's also waiting too much. He just waited there until Riddick threw a three-punch combination.
Let him out. Let him go. Come on out.
Tyrell Biggs in the black trunks has to initiate the action. Work off that jab.
There's an attempt at an uppercut. It's been a very good punch for Riddick Bowe.
You know, it's only when you see that.
Oh, there's a shot to the back of the head by Tyrell Biggs. No warning, though, from Frank Cappuccino.
No, really, when the other man turns away like that, Dan, he has a right to punch him. That's Bowe's fault for turning away. That's the foul.
And there is Tyrell Biggs' father, James.
And you can see the look of concern as his son took another heavy right hand.
He got Tyrell started in boxing. He fought in school and in the Army, and interested his son at a young age to get involved in this sport. The jab flicking by Biggs is missing. The one by Bowe landed.
I started to say, Dan, these two guys are so similar in size, both 6'4" and change, both 225, that only when you see Frank Cappuccino, the referee, in the picture, do you realize how big they are. Two huge men.
We're in the third round here at Harrah's in Atlantic City. Coming up on the 32nd mark. You can see that when that jab of Tyrell Biggs is effective and flicking out there, Riddick Bowe is a little cautious.
There, a good right hand. And Bowe is hurt.
And Riddick Bowe is hurt. Riddick Bowe saying, come on in, but there was no doubt that he was hurt. Tyrell Biggs making a fight of it.
Let him out right there.
Here we go with the start of the fourth round. A reminder, this fight is scheduled for 10. And Tyrell Biggs, who's been on the short end of this fight up to this point, closed the third round with a flurry, and he hurt Riddick Bowe. Alex, he caught him clowning a little.
Solid right hand, and I think Tyrell was even surprised by the effect, because he's not supposed to be a big right-handed puncher. Eddie Fudge in Riddick Bowe's corner. Stop clowning around. You're letting him get off first. Use your jab. Oh, good right hand that time by Bowe.
A lot of movement being shown by Biggs, but it's been Riddick Bowe who's had the big punch of this round, that right hand.
Yeah, this is ineffective movement by Tyrell. He's not landing anything. It's just Riddick just pushing him around the ring. Dan, we should note that's really about the first time either fighter has been up against the ropes. That this is a 17-foot ring. You might notice the flag there in the turnbuckle and back. Rock Newman, Riddick Bowe's manager, changed this ring this morning from a 20-foot ring to a 17-foot ring by adding an extra turnbuckle. And that clearly, against a fighter who is as mobile as the opponent is today, Tyrell Biggs, is to his fighter's advantage. So far, it's been a phone booth fight.
We'd like to remind our ABC stations that at the end of this round, we're going to be going to a station break.
Go, Tyrell. You're holding, Tyrell. Let him out.
You can hear Frank Cappuccino telling Biggs to stop holding.
Tyrell's thinking right now, Frank, I'm tired. I've landed a few good punches, but this guy's a buzzsaw.
Another good right hand, partially blocked by the glove, but some of it still landed. You could see it move the head of Biggs.
And I think I see blood. I'm not sure.
It looks like blood is coming from over the left eye
of Tyrell Biggs. That is the cut that we talked about, the first open, 32 stitches in it against David Bay. Opened again terribly against Tyson.
Well, the two fighters right now, certainly Tyrell Biggs looking the much more beleaguered.
And the more desperate.
Yep.
Tyrell Biggs really has been...
That punch looked low. That left by Riddick Bowe appeared to hurt Biggs, and it was low, Alex.
And we should point out that the book on Tyrell Biggs is that he is vulnerable to the body, going all the way back to his amateur fights with Teofilo Stevenson.
And ABC's Wide World of Sports will return after this word from our ABC station. Round number 5, a reminder that of Riddick Bowe's fights, 19 of his 21 professional fights have ended in 4 rounds or less. He's gone to the 8th round twice, won both of those. Eddie Gonzalez and Pinklin Thomas. And we are now here in the 5th. But that was another good solid round, Alex, for Riddick Bowe.
Solid round for Riddick, and he seems to me, Dan, to have started a little bit slowly here. I mean, this is to Tyrell's advantage. There's one thing for taking your time, but constant pressure. I just think Tyrell is going to wilt, and under the effect of those punches to the head and to the body, and the effect of the nosebleed and the cut.
Oh, another right hand to the body by Bowe. Couple scoring jabs.
Trying to work the cut. Very, very little coming back from Tyrell right now. I don't think he's yet just talking about surviving. Now the ropes come into effect. But I do think he is just saving up his strength for a few desperation punches around, I'm sorry. There, just covering, nothing coming back. Bowe is accepting those clinches.
Tyrell Biggs, never a powerful fighter, Alex, who was able to muscle his way around the ring. That will almost certainly come into play later in this fight. And there, well, Riddick Bowe Jr. knows he's on television.
Yeah, I didn't appear too excited about it.
No. It has been a nonchalant Bowe family watching this fight.
His father has been described as a man who never saw a camera or a mirror he didn't like.
And a lot could be said that his son feels exactly the same way. Riddick Bowe in the white trunks, Tyrell Biggs in the black.
Good stiff jabs by Tyrell, but he's bailing out with him. He's throwing him going backwards.
And they don't appear to have much of an effect either.
You see Riddick there dropping his arms. He may be a little bit tight. There's been a tremendous pace for a heavyweight fight, Dan.
But if you had to walk into this fight right now and pick the guy who's 30 and pick the guy who's 23, I don't think you'd have much trouble.
No, but right now, in the closing seconds here of round number 5, I think Riddick Bowe is waiting for a second wind. He looks a little bit tired. Tyrell seems to have taken the initiative a little bit more.
This fight is scheduled for 10 rounds here at Harrah's. I'm Dan Deerdorf, working along with Alex Swallow. Up to this point, diving a good right hand by Riddick Bowe. The fight has been controlled by Riddick Bowe, with the exception of the 3rd round, where Tyrell Biggs landed a shot that hurt Bowe. But the balance of the fight